Day 333. He was a friend to everyone. The Prophet was in touch with every section of the community. Anyone who had a difficulty or a question would run to him. He was a prophet who was praised on earth and in the heavens. He was a beautiful person for whose sake the entire universe was created. Despite the fact that he was such a great person, he was never proud. He used to spend time with everyone. The children used to run to him. When the young people had a question, they would ask him. When the women had problems, they would go to him. The old had hopes in him. In turn, he used to give love, happiness, and solutions to them because he was the chosen messenger of Allah. The Prophet had reserved one day every week for the women of the community. When that day came, all the women gathered together and asked the Prophet the questions they had. It was one of those days that the women had gathered around the Prophet. All of them were speaking at the same time and asking questions. They had raised their voices. There was so much noise that the voice of the Prophet was drowned out. It was not understandable who was saying what, but without showing any anger, the Prophet listened to each one of them one by one and gave solutions to their problems. At that very moment, Umar was passing by outside. They heard his footsteps. In great fear, the women collected themselves and got ready to receive him. Suddenly, the noise stopped. When Umar entered the room, there was complete silence. Those who had been interrupting each other a moment ago, asking the Prophet all kinds of questions at the same time, were now a very different group of women. It was as if it was an entirely new group. They started whispering. The Prophet noticed that with Umar's arrival, everything had calmed down. A nice smile lit up his face. Umar asked anxiously, "May my life be sacrificed for you, O Messenger of Allah? Why did you smile?" The Prophet said, "The behavior of those around me pleased me by how they calmed down when they heard your voice." Umar said, "O Messenger of Allah, I would think that you deserve this respect more than anyone else." And then he returned and then he turned to the women. "You ladies are the enemies of yourselves. Are you afraid of me, but not the Prophet of Allah?" The women said, "You are harsher than the Messenger of Allah. You are less tolerant than him. That is why we behave in this way." The Prophet ended the conversation on a sweet note. "O Umar, they are telling the truth. When you are walking on a wide street, I swear to Allah, Shaitan would change his direction so as not to meet you." At these words, everyone around him burst into laughter. Indeed, the Prophet was the friend of everyone and the keeper of every secret.